going to go ahead and get started. This is our final performance of the Miraculous Journey of Edward Tulane, which was our one-act play competition piece this week, or this year. Many of you might have noticed some cameras about. This is Mr. Rick Lemon. He's done videoing for us for the last several years, and he puts together a really nice DVD. It's basically a video of the play and a little bit of behind the scenes. He does some drone work. They're really, really great finished product. He'll be selling them to us for $25. So if you are interested in buying a copy, you can email me or get with me afterwards, and he will have them edited and ready to go and delivered here to the high school on Friday. So if you would like one, please get with me probably before Wednesday so he can start, a final count of how many he'll need. We had a really great year. We have a beautiful, beautiful show to perform for y'all. After the final scene, I'll call all the kids out and recognize some of the awards they got, but we're going to go ahead and get started right now.
Once, in a house on Egypt Street, there lived a rabbit, made almost entirely of china, but how did such a thing come to be? Did the rabbit belong in this fine house? Was this the rabbit's home? Ah, now that's an interesting question.
Grandmother, you're back!
You didn't think your grandmother Pellegrino would miss your birthday now, did you?
Oh, grandmother, for me?
Yes, Abilene. Happy birthday.
He's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. What is he made of?
China, the finest china.
I love him. I'll always love him.
I'm glad. I thought you could use a special friend. Now, what shall his name be?
Edward. Edward Tulane.
Well, Edward Tulane, I hope you realize how fortunate you are.
And so it was that Edward Tulane came to live in the house on Egypt Street. He was very fortunate indeed. Abilene loved the China rabbit.
Abilene, come along now. You'll be late for school.
I'm almost ready, Father. I just have to put Edward in his chair.
Oh, I know.
Father?
Oh, good morning, Edward. You're looking dapper as always.
What's that, Edward? Oh, he says thank you, and that you look rather dapper yourself.
Thank you, Edward.
Now, Edward Tulane didn't say any such thing. He couldn't say anything with his painted mouth, after all. And what he was really thinking was...
I do look good, don't I? Now fix my tie. I'm sure it's crooked. You really should be more careful with the tie.
Your pocket watch, I remember. When the big hand's on the 12 and the little hand's on the 3, I'll come home to you.
Abilene.
The tie! Fix the tie! Oh, dear.
And so it was that Edward Tulane spent his days staring out upon Egypt Street, listening to the ticking of his watch, and at 3 o'clock, Abilene would return.
Edward, I'm back! And how's your day?
What are you doing? Don't move me now. It'll be dark soon, and I'll be able to see my reflection in the window.
Oh, Edward, I wish everyone were as nice and considerate as you.
Uh-huh.
Edward Tulane had little interest in people in their lives. Now, nobody knew this. Nobody could read his thoughts. That is, nobody except for perhaps one.
But why won't you sail to London with us tomorrow?
Because I will not. That's why. Now, tell me, will you be taking Edward with you on this voyage?
Of course. How could I possibly go on a journey without Edward?
Don't hold me so tightly. You'll wrinkle the silk.
Edward watches out for me.
Does he?
Why does this Pellegrino always look at me like I'm some criminal?
Will you tell us a story tonight, Grandmother?
Yes, I believe tonight there will be a story.
Shall Edward listen too?
Oh, yes. Edward should pay particular close attention.
I don't like the sound of that at all.
Once there was a princess who was very beautiful. She shone as bright as the stars on a moonless night.
As bright as the stars on a moonless night. That's kind of nice, actually.
What difference did it make that she was beautiful? She was a princess who loved no one and cared nothing for love, even though there were many who loved her. One day, a prince from another kingdom came. As soon as he saw the princess, he fell in love with her. He gave her a ring of pure gold. Placing it on her finger, he said, "I love you." But do you know what the princess did? She took the ring off her finger, put it in her mouth, and she swallowed it. "That is what I think of love," she said, and she ran away deep into the woods. And looking around, she realized that she was lost.
Did the prince ever come find her?
Listen. Eventually, she came upon a little hut. Inside the hut was an old witch. "I'm a beautiful princess. My father is a powerful king. You must help me or there will be consequences." At this, the witch said, "Consequences? You dare talk to me of consequences? Very well then, tell me the name of the one you love." "Love? I love no one," said the princess proudly. "You disappoint me," said the witch, raising a hand, and in an instant, the beautiful princess was changed into a warthog. The warthog princess ran away through the woods. There she came across several men. They had been sent by the king to find a beautiful princess. So when they came across an ugly warthog, they shot it. Ha!
No!
Yes. The beautiful princess was then taken away to the castle. There, the cook slit open her belly and found a ring of pure gold. The cook then put the ring on her finger and finished butchering the warthog. The end.
No!
Yes, the end.
That can't be. No one's living happily ever after.
But how can a story end happily ever after if there is no love? Now, it's late and you need some sleep. Tomorrow, a new adventure begins.
What are you doing with Edward?
I'm just saying, bon voyage. You disappoint me. Good night.
Good night, grandmother.
What was that? This is why I don't listen to stories.
I love you, Edward. I don't care how old I get, I'll always love you.
Yes, but turn me on my side so I can see the stars. As bright as the stars on a moonless night.
And so, the next day, Edward, Abilene, and her parents set sail for England.
Shall we sit up here on deck, Edward?
Is my hat on straight? I'm sure to be complimented on the hat.
Oh, your pocket watch. I forgot to wind it this morning. I'd better take care of that.
Look, I have more admirers approaching. Get out of the way.
What is he supposed to be wearing?
It's a suit. It's very fashionable.
I don't like these two heathens. Take me away.
He even has his own silk pajamas.
You hear that, Amos? He has his own silk pajamas. Let me see him.
No, give it to me.
Stop it, young man. I demand you release me at once.
Oh, I'm sorry. Here you are.
No!
Don't throw him. He's made of china. He'll break.
Good catch, Amos. Throw him back.
Give him to me. He's mine.
And Edward flew over the railing and sailed out over the ocean.
Edward, no!
He caught one last glimpse of Abilene standing on the deck with his gold pocket watch in her outstretched hand.
My pocket watch!
Abilene disappeared from view as Edward Tulane hit the water. And he began to sink. He went down and down. Finally, he landed on the ocean floor, face down in the muck.
I don't like this. I don't like this one bit.
Hours passed.
Abilene will come find me. It's just like waiting for her to come home from school. If only I had my watch.
Days passed, and Abilene didn't come.
as bright as the stars on a moonless night. I'll never see the stars again.
Weeks passed,
Why did the beautiful princess become a warthog?
and then months. Then a powerful storm came.
I'm out of the muck at last. What's happening?
Suddenly, Edward found himself in the middle of a net. And before he knew what had happened, Edward was pulled up out of the water.
You ain't a fish, that's for sure. You're a rabbit, I reckon. A toy rabbit. I'll take you home to Nellie. She'll fix you up.
Back on land, the old fisherman paraded Edward through the seaside village.
Wait till Nellie gets a sight of you. You'll like Nellie. She's had her sadness, but she's an all right girl. Now, look at there. That's your North Star. It'll never have to be lost when you know where that fella is.
The North Star. I never thought I'd get to see the stars again.
The fisherman and Edward finally arrived at a little green cottage.
Nellie, look what I brought you. Straight from the sea.
A rabbit? Oh, Lawrence, you brought me a rabbit. Have you ever seen anything so fine?
This is one very discerning woman.
She's beautiful.
She.
What shall I call her?
Do I look like a girl?
I was thinking Suzanne.
Susanna. Just right.
It's not right at all.
Well, you'll be needing some clothes now, Susanna, won't you?
And the next day, Nellie created a new outfit for Edward, who was now Susanna. The dress she made was cotton and simple.
No, don't set me by the window. Anyone walking by will see me in this ridiculous dress.
It gets lonely here all day while Lawrence is out to sea. Back when the children were little, I had my hands full, but now the days can seem awful empty.
At least you're not at the bottom of the ocean with your head in the muck.
I suppose you know a thing or two about loneliness yourself.
Loneliness. Yes.
But now you're here, Susanna from the sea. Do you like the dress? My daughter Lolly always makes fun of the clothes I make. Lolly's our oldest. Then there's Ralph. Then there was Raymond. He died when he was just 5 years old. Pneumonia. It is the worst thing to watch somebody you love die right in front of you and not be able to do nothing about it.
You've had your sadness.
I suppose you think I'm daft talking to a toy, but it seems to me that you're listening, Susanna.
I am, Nellie. I am.
At night, after supper, Lawrence would lift Edward onto his shoulder and go out for a walk.
Now every sailor needs to know their constellations, Susanna. That there's Andromeda, you see. And over there, that's Pegasus. I find comfort in the stars. There's comfort in knowing your old friends are out there watching.
Yes.
The rabbit stayed with the old fisherman and his wife for many weeks, listening to their stories and memories, and when his own troubling memories haunted him,
Warthogs, witches, oceans, darkness.
Nellie was always able to comfort him.
Hush, little baby, don't say a word. Mama's gonna buy you a mockingbird. And if that mockingbird don't sing, Mama's gonna buy you a diamond ring.
Night after night, Nellie sang to the rabbit, gently allowing him to let go of those dark thoughts.
And if that diamond ring turns brass, Mama's gonna buy you a looking glass. And if that looking glass gets broke, Mama's gonna buy you a Billy Goat.
And so, for a very long time, life was sweet, And then one day, they had a visitor.
Hello, Mom.
Lolly, what a surprise!
I just had to get out the city, you know, so I thought I'd surprise you and Pop.
What a lovely thing to do.
What's this?
That's Susanna.
You've got yourself a toy rabbit named Susanna.
Your father found her. She came up in the net. She didn't have no clothes on her, so I made her a dress.
Have you gone around the bend, Mom? Rabbits don't need clothes.
Well, this one is seamed to.
I see your sewing skills have not improved much.
How dare you? This dress is perfect.
You've got these old folks bewitched, don't you, Susanna? They've been treating you like some kind of rabbit child. Well, it ain't right. We're gonna put an end to it right now. Hey, Ma!
Yes, dear?
I'm gonna take the truck and run some errands.
Wait, help! Nellie! Lawrence!
Lolly took Edward to the town dump. She threw him onto the garbage pile and she drove away, leaving the rabbit alone.
I'll show her. I'll pick her up by the ears and throw her in a garbage pile. That's what I'll do.
As the days passed, more and more garbage was thrown onto the pile.
It's like I'm back on the bottom of the ocean. No, it's worse.
Weeks passed.
If only I had my watch.
Then, on his 180th day at the dump, Edward felt the garbage around him shifting.
What's happening?
Suddenly, he saw the light of day again.
The sky! I'm free!
And there, staring him in the face, was a dog.
Wait. What have you found there, girl?
Let go of me!
You're a toy, aren't you? And somehow you got separated from the child who loves you.
Edward felt a sharp pain in his chest.
Abilene loved me.
So, Malone, you're lost. Well, Lucy and I are lost too. If you'd like, you could be lost with us. I've found it much more agreeable to be lost in the company of others. My name is Bull, and this here is Lucy.
And so it was that Edward Tulane took to the road with a hobo and his dog.
Wait. Now, Malone, I hope you understand that we are always on the move. Though, in truth, we are going nowhere. That, my friend, is the irony of our constant movement.
As the sun set in the west, the three stopped at the edge of a field.
This seems like a downright comfortable place to spend the night. In the morning, I'm gonna set you up with the proper outlaw look. Yes, sir. You're gonna look like a genuine rabbit on the run.
A rabbit on the run.
And to the comforting sounds of Bull's snoring and Lucy's whimpering in her sleep, Edward looked at the stars.
Andromeda, Pegasus, the North Star. We're not really lost, Bull. We can still see the North Star.
The next morning, Bull created a new outfit for Edward. Susanna was gone. He was now Malone, and the three travelers set off for nowhere. They journeyed for a very long time. Occasionally, they met up with others who were lost.
Hello there, Jack.
Hey, Bull. Hey, Malone. Hello, Lucy. I used to have a dog. His name was Bullet.
What happened to Bullet?
Oh, he's watching out for my family back in North Carolina.
North Carolina.
Look at Malone. He's listening to every dang word we're saying.
He's a great listener. Helps me to remember.
Does he? Say, you think I could have a word with Malone?
Of course you can.
I want to tell you about my kids. Helen, Junior, and Taffy. I had to leave them. I had to. There was no work, and I needed to find some. Now, something had happened to me, and then Helen, Jack Jr., and Taffy. Remember their names. Okay, Malone?
Helen, Jack Jr., and Taffy. I'll remember, Jack.
And soon word spread about the toy rabbit and his gift for remembering. Soon, wherever they went, a hobo would take Edward aside and whisper the names of his children in the rabbit's ear.
Betty.
Jimmy.
The rabbit listened to every name, to every story.
Ted. He plays baseball.
Nadine. She has a sweet tooth. And his heart opened wide and then wider still.
This is love. This must be love.
The rabbit traveled with Lucy and Bull for 7 happy years. And then, one night, in a rail yard outside of Memphis,
Here's an empty box for you. Down you go. Malone, you keep the first watch. Old Lucy and I are going to get a little shut-eye.
Bull! Someone's coming! Bull!
Hey! Wake up! Think this is a motel? You just got lucky. They don't let us throw you out of moving trains no more. What's this?
That's Malone.
Malone, huh? Now I've seen everything. A bum with a toy rabbit.
It's all right, Lucy.
Sure, it's all right. Hey, Lucy, ever seen a rabbit fly? Watch. Better yet, fetch. Lucy, no.
as he flew through the air, Edward Tulane caught one last glimpse of the boxcar before it disappeared into the night.
Bull! Lucy!
Then he was on the ground, staring up at the night sky. The world was silent. He lay there all alone, with only the stars and his memories.
Andromeda. Pegasus. Bull. Lucy. I'm sorry I couldn't save you from that man. I can't do anything. But lie here. Lawrence and Nellie and Abilene. Abilene. Egypt Street. Look out the window. You are coming home.
The stars faded as night became day.
Coming home to me.
Oh, the old gray mare, she ain't what she used to be, ain't what she used to be, ain't what she used to be, the old gray mare. She ain't what she used to be many long years ago. Well, what's this? Where do you reckon you came from? Well, there's a use for everything, and everything has its use. Ha! And I know exactly how to use you. Many long years ago. Many long years ago. Oh, the old gray mare, she ain't what she used to be many long years ago.
And so, Edward Tulane was on the move once again. Eventually, he found himself in a vegetable garden next to an old, run-down farmhouse. A boy was there, too.
There. That ought to do it.
He's a rabbit, isn't he?
No. From now on, he's a scarecrow.
You don't look too scary. Looks kind of nice.
Who asked you guys? I ain't paying you to stand around watching. You got to work.
Yes, sir.
Now, fly. You scare away them crows.
Go away, birds! Go on! Oh, it's no use. I'm no good as a scarecrow either.
The birds attacked Edward, nipping at his clothing, circling his head. Night finally came, and the birds flew away.
If I had wings, I'd fly away too. I'd fly high up to the stars.
But on this night, even the stars seemed to mock him.
I'm all alone, useless and alone.
Over here. Hey, I've come to save you.
Save me? Why?
Now, let's get out of here before the old lady catches us.
You saved me, but for what?
My little sister had herself a baby doll made out of China, just like you. She loved that baby doll, but he broke it. He came home drunk, stepped on the doll's head, and smashed it into 100 million pieces. Sarah Ruth ain't had nothing to play with since. He says she don't need nothing because she's sick and ain't gonna live. But he don't know.
They arrived at a house. It was small and crooked, not much more than a shack.
Sarah Ruth, I brung you something.
A dancing doll? Go on and have a good laugh.
He's yours. I got him special for you.
Special for me?
The first minute I seen him, I knew you two belonged together. Now what's his name gonna be?
Jangles.
No one has ever held me like this before.
Jangles.
Sarah Ruth.
Days passed. Every morning, Bryce went out to find food for his sister. Edward spent all his time with Sarah Ruth. Some days, they played with an old cigar box filled with buttons.
I wish I could protect you, but I can only... You just hold tight.
Hey there, honey. I brought you a delicious biscuit tonight. Now, I'll hold Jangles and then him and me got a surprise for you. But only eat that biscuit, okay? I got this idea the first night I brought him to you. So how you doing with that biscuit? Are you done?
No more.
But, honey, you gotta keep up your strength. One more bite, please.
No, can't.
Well, I guess you ate enough. Are you ready for your surprise?
Yes.
What is happening to me? Do you like it, Sarah Ruth? Keep playing, Bryce. Make my legs kick again. She loves that.
There. That's all right. You want some fresh air? Let's go take a peek at the stars for a minute.
If I had wings, I'd fly high up to the stars, where the air is clear and sweet. I would hold Sarah Ruth in my arms, and there, high above the clouds, she could breathe and laugh and talk. And she wouldn't ever have to cough again.
Look!
A falling star. Make a wish, honey.
I wish.
I wish.
Days and weeks passed. The sun rose and set again and again. Every evening, Bryce would play the harmonica and Edward would dance as Sarah Ruth grew weaker.
Why isn't she laughing? Sarah Ruth, I'm doing the kicks you like. Sarah Ruth, keep playing, Bryce.
But Bryce stopped playing.
But, honey, you've got to eat something.
No, can't.
Blood. Don't worry about it, honey. It's gonna be all right.
Bryce stopped leaving the house. He never left her side.
Honey, breathe.
Breathe. Please, please breathe.
On a bright morning in September, Sarah Ruth stopped breathing.
She's gone. Jangles.
Gone? Where did she go?
Their father came. They buried her under a tree she had liked. Their father left.
No reason to stay here no more. Come on, Jangles. We're going to Memphis.
And so, Edward Tulane danced on a dirty street corner in Memphis. Bryce set out Sarah Ruth's button box in front of him, and people dropped pennies and nickels into it. On and on, Bryce played. On and on, Edward danced.
Are you crying, Bryce? Tears. Do they help?
People came and went.
Keep playing, Bryce. Pellegrina? Look at me. You got your wish. I learned how to love, and it's a terrible thing.
Looks like we got us enough to get something to eat. Come on, Jangles.
The diner was called Neil's. Bryce sat at the counter.
I want some pancakes, and some eggs, and some steak too, and some toast.
He ate it all.
Well, you was hungry for sure.
Yes, ma'am.
Can I get you anything else, darling?
No, thank you, ma'am. I ain't got enough.
Well, I see. You're gonna have to talk to Neil about that. Neil!
You came in here hungry, right?
Yes, sir.
And you ordered some food. A lot of food. And you ate it, right?
Yes, sir.
Now I want my money.
You ever see a rabbit dance?
What?
He could dance for you. He could dance to pay for what I ate.
This is what I think of dancing rabbit.
What are you doing? Give it back. Stop it.
Edward felt himself swinging through the air. He was moving so quickly, he couldn't see Bryce. He couldn't see Neil. He couldn't see the countertop.
No!
And the world, Edward's world, went black.
She's in the stars. Susanna.
No, you can't go yet. Please, Edward, stay with us.
Wait. I'm gonna stand to lose you again.
Exceedingly well made. How did you end up like this, I wonder?
Where am I?
Ah, there you are. Hello. Your head was broken in pieces. I fixed it.
But my heart is still broken.
No need to thank me. It's my job. I'm a doll mender. A little boy brought you here. He gave you to me if I promised to repair you.
Bryce!
Extraordinary, really. He let you go so that you may live, so to speak. Well, I have much to do here. When I'm done, I shall sell you and make a handsome profit.
You should have left my head broken in pieces. I will never be whole again.
Slowly and carefully, the doll mender did his work restoring the rabbit. Except for the different cut of the suit and the very faint lines on his face, Edward Tulane looked the same as he did the day he left the doll maker all those many years ago. Edward was placed on a high shelf for display. Time passed. The dolls came and went. Every time the door opened, they were all filled with the hope that this time would be theirs, but not Edward Tulane.
Here you are, my lovely. Sit here, next to this gentleman. You two have much in common. You've both been saved.
Hello. Have you been here long?
Yes, months and months, but I don't care. One place is the same as the other.
Well, that's not true. I've lived for at least 100 years, and I've been to countless places, and they are never the same. And I'm never the same either. In every place, I become a different doll.
100 years?
At least. That's what the doll mender said. And from the cracks on your face, I'd say you've seen a bit of life as well, yes?
Yes.
My face has its share of cracks. Both have had the chance to learn some of life's lessons.
Hard lessons.
Wonderful lessons. And we keep learning, don't we? Every time a new person comes into our lives, we get swept away on a new adventure. I wonder who will come for me next.
I don't care if anyone comes for me. I'm done with love. I'm done with loving. It's too painful.
Where's your courage?
I guess I'm done with that too.
You disappoint me.
What did you say?
You heard me. You disappoint me. If you have no intention to love or be loved, then the whole journey is pointless. You might as well just jump off the shelf right now and get it over with.
I would leap if I were able to.
Shall I push you?
No, thank you. Not that you could, anyway.
Open your heart. Someone will come. But first, you must open your heart.
That very next day, a little girl came into the shop and took away the old doll. Long after she had left, her words echoed in Edward's ear.
Someone will come. No, it can't be possible. And how could I go through it all again? It's just too much. Someone will come.
And every time he thought those words, he allowed himself to hope a little more.
Someone will come.
Weeks passed. Weeks turned into months, months into seasons, seasons turned into years.
Someone will come.
Then, one rainy spring morning, someone came.
Good morning. Good morning, madam. How may I help you?
Well, I'm looking for something for my daughter. A special friend.
Of course. I'm sure you'll find what you're looking for. This beauty right here is quite popular.
She's lovely, but I'm looking for something a little more unique.
I understand. How about this one?
She's beautiful, but I don't know. Perhaps the doll isn't right. Thank you for your time.
Madam, if I may, I believe I have one other thing to show you. Perhaps he is what you're looking for.
I know you. Who are you? Why do I know you?
A memory came to Edward Tulane. The memory of a little girl many years ago. A little girl who had grown up into a woman.
My pocket watch? Abilene?
Edward?
Yes, Edward, my name. Edward!
Once, there was a China rabbit who was loved by a little girl. On an ocean journey, the rabbit fell overboard and was rescued by a fisherman who gave the rabbit to his wife. The rabbit was buried under garbage and unburied by a dog. He traveled with hobos and for a short time was a scarecrow. Once, there was a rabbit who loved a little girl and watched her die. The rabbit danced on the streets of Memphis to the music of a sad little boy. The rabbit's head was broken in a diner and put together again by a doll mender, and he swore that he would not make the mistake of loving again. Once, there was a rabbit who danced in a garden with the daughter of the woman who had loved him at the beginning of his journey. Once, oh marvelous once, there was a rabbit who found his way home.
Wait, let me button that before I take a picture. I could not get a button.
Hayden, go ahead and turn on. Okay, y'all line up. This is a good line here. Nice line. No, right here. Line up. This is a good line. All right, real quickly, I kind of want to go through our cast and crew. They had a fantastic, very, very successful year. I have to take notes because there's so many this year. I want to start with my freshmen, brand newbies who joined us this year. I had both of them I had two of them in junior high. We have Jeremiah Gentinen, and go ahead and step forward a little bit, and S.K. Root, and then we have Abigail Noblet. Jeremiah actually won honorable mention for his portrayal of the dog Lucy at my district. Good job, freshman. Now for my sophomores. I have quite a few sophomores, which is very exciting. I have Kendall Helms, Colton Suter, who won honorable mention at one of our contests. Landry Dyer, who won an honorable mention and an all-star cast at our contest. Abby Page, Lucian Salazar, and Jaden Reinschmidt. I had Jaden and Lucian join us backstage. I've been lucky enough to have Colton, Landry, and Abby and Kendall for 2 years now. This is their second year, and I really enjoy having them. Okay, now for my juniors. Let's see, my juniors, I have Jaslyn Pena. And then upstairs doing lights for us is Hayden Nichols. Hayden's been doing this for 2 years. I have Hannah Hanley, who won Outstanding Tech, one of our contests. AJ Mendez on our accordion. AJ was very popular this year with the judges and with the audience. Everyone loved the use of the accordion. They said they've never seen the accordion in one act play before, and it was a big hit. So thank you, AJ. And now for my seniors. First up, we have Tessa Garza. Tessa has been blessed with an incredible narrator voice, which is wonderful for me, but she tends to end up the narrator and everything. But she gets lots of compliments from judges about how she can command the audience, and they follow her because she just has such a voice that captures everyone. Next up, I have Hallie Bonewall. Honorable mention at one of our contests this year. She joined us last year. I wish she would have moved here a lot sooner. But we have really enjoyed having Hallie with us. Sure gonna miss both of them. Let's see, I have Izzy Lester. Izzy also won our All-Star cast at one of our contests, and Izzy was also a move-in last year, and just like Hallie, I wish their families would have just moved here a couple of years ago. It would have been wonderful. I've enjoyed having both these ladies as move-ins. And then we have Tanner Fuchs. Best Actor both at our district and our by-district meets. He got overall Best Actor, which is an incredible feat. Congratulations to Tanner for that. And then helping me run everything backstage, I have my two, they're just indispensable. I have Elizabeth Noblet and Nadia Guerrero. Nadia started off backstage for me, then she got moved to the sound booth because she couldn't be around anyone else for a while. And then this year we decided to do all of our sound backstage, so I moved her backstage with lots of threats of all sorts of things if she distracted the actors back here like she enjoys doing. But she did our lightning and our thunder and everything. She's really, really handy. And Elizabeth has managed, she holds the record of breaking more of my props and furniture than any other person I've ever had in any of the years I've been a theater director. If Elizabeth touches it, it breaks. But she's very good at fixing it. And I allow my seniors to paint a brick in our room, and Elizabeth has started painting all the objects she's broke over the years, and the brick is full. And we are out of room because we keep thinking of stuff. We're like, oh yeah, remember you broke that too? She's like, I don't know where I can paint it anymore. So I'm gonna miss all of these seniors. Extremely successful kids. They are going to do amazing things in life. I hope they stick with theater, whether it's in college or in community theater, or maybe one day they'll go crazy and decide to become a theater teacher. But they are so talented, and I'm going to miss having them very much. Everybody? Okay, real quick, I personally want to thank my daughter, Emily. She is my assistant director, and I absolutely could not do it without her. I don't know how I did it as a one-man show for all these years. She takes so much of the burden off my shoulders, even by just calling ahead to restaurants or scheduling things. She's just such a wonderful shoulder for me, and she and Jaden did beautiful on the projections this year, and so I wanted to give a big shout out to Emily for helping me this year. Finally, on a personal note, I want to thank my parents. They have been to every single one of my shows and almost didn't make it this year, but they managed to get over, and I'm so thankful that they did. They have always been a wonderful source of support for me and love, and they have been my rock, and I wanted to thank them for always being there for me. We do need to do a group picture real quick. The last one we took, whenever we took it, did not turn out really well. So let's get into our final pose, please, guys. And let me adjust some things. Emily's going to try and take a good one this time, and then on it. Okay, final pose. I'll get used to it in a second. First, let's do the basic guide. The middle? Yes. Actually, and let's center it. No, it's okay. AJ, tuck in a little bit closer. Lucian, come over here and kind of kneel down or squat down between AJ and Ashley.